All right, so for this part, we're going to do a light to intermediate stretch. We want to try to create space, make sure we're not pushing ourselves too far, but also make sure you're pushing yourself to the proper limit. All right, here we're going to start in hands up, straight to the roof. Make sure you're breathing. Touch your toes. Breathe here. Let's make sure we are pushing our butt to the ceiling, our head to the ground. Breathe. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come and we're going to put our hands and grab our calves or our knees or wherever you can grab, and make sure that you're really stretching your hamstrings out and not just sitting here. So breathe and enjoy the view of your feet that probably don't look great. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to advance this a little bit farther, and what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're pushing our butt into the ceiling, and then try to grab a little bit farther down on your leg than you did before. Pull your head and your chest into your knees or your legs, and really engage those hamstrings and get a really good stretch. Let's breathe here for 5 good breaths. That's 1 breath. It's 2 breaths. 3 breaths. Let's do 2 deep ones here. 4, 5. Now come all the way up. Hands to the ceiling. Breathe. Hands down. All right, now we're going to get our butts on the floor. We're going to put our feet straight out in front of us. We're going to engage our lower back and our abs, and we're going to roll our shoulders back, hands in the air. Right here for a couple seconds, and then we're going to fold over and grab our legs wherever we can grab them. Let's hold this for a good couple seconds as we warm up our hamstrings, warm up our bodies, and just get a little loose. Make sure you continue to breathe. Try not to round your back, which I probably do, and this is why I'm doing this. And try to roll the shoulders back and keep the back as straight as possible. Breathe here. Good couple breaths. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to advance it a little farther and try to grab a little farther on your leg than you did before. And really try to engage your feet through the roof. Back is flat, and you're breathing and you're stretching. Continue to breathe, continue to stretch, and your life will be great. You'll live a long time. So keep going, keep breathing. Now let's advance a little farther and try to go a little farther down the leg. Don't push it too far, but remember, try to find that limit, push it, and then keep it right there. Breathe. 2, 3. All right, all the way back up, hands above your head. Hold this here, engage the lower back, engage the stomach. Push your butt into the ground, hands through the roof, shoulders down. All right, hands next to your thighs. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull this left foot into our inside of our right leg, and we're going to just fold over the right leg only now. While keeping this leg engaged here, try to lower yourself as your back stays straight around your right leg. Don't push it too far yet, but we will begin to push it. So breathe here. Continue to breathe, continue to keep it going. And now we're going to take our hands and we're going to try to move them a little bit lower on the leg and engage our left leg and try to push it down into the mat as we are stretching our right hamstring and grabbing as far down on the leg as you can. Starting now. Hold this for a couple breaths while we keep stretching our right leg. 3 more breaths. 2, all the way, and we're gonna switch sides. So right leg bent, right foot on the left inside of your thigh, left leg out, hands above our head, stretch over. Grab on the leg, wherever you can right now. Try to fire your right hip down and your right knee down onto the mat as we're stretching our left leg and keeping our back straight. Breathe here for 2 breaths. That's 1, 2. Now try to go a little bit farther on the leg and intensify that stretch a little more. Good job. And last push, we're going to push it a little farther and really pull your head down into your knee. Pull your right knee down into the mat and make sure you aren't rounding your back too much to try to achieve that. Breathe here, 3 good breaths, deep good ones. 1, 2, 3. All right, now we're going to sit in a butterfly position, cross your legs. And all we're going to do here is we're going to sit. We're going to try to get good posture. We're going to roll our shoulders back. We're going to raise our hands in the air. We're going to engage our core, engage your whole body. We're going to hold this for a couple breaths. Try to push your hands through the roof. And breathe. And now we're going to just fold over and try to engage your core and try not to roll your back, but give your body a good fold. Breathe here for 2 breaths. Now we're going to push it a little farther, put our hands out a little more, see if we can go a little farther. Last time, we're going to keep pushing it, see if we can get a little farther than where we're at. 5 breaths here. All right, good job. Now what we're going to do is we are going to stretch our arms a little bit and engage those. So now we're going to raise our hands in the air, breathe, and we're going to do really big, obvious arm circles. Over exaggerate. Make them huge, make them slow. Just get those shoulders moving. You'll probably hear them popping around when the rocks in them. All right, now progressively speed them up. Be deliberate with them. Don't just swing them around. And then now we're going to work big to little. So big to little. And then now big, medium, now little. Now reverse, big backwards. You should feel them burning. They should be tired. Now little. Big, breathe, little. Drop your arms. Good job. Okay. Now we're going to grab our right elbow with our left hand, and we're just going to pull that elbow into our body towards our left shoulder. And we're going to stretch our right shoulder while doing that. Breathe here. Engage your feet into the mat. Engage your core while you're doing this. Try to have good posture. Practice it at all times, which I am trying to do as much as possible. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now we're going to switch sides. Grab the left elbow with the right hand. Pull it into your body. And you're going to feel it into your left shoulder here. If you need a little more, try to just engage your right hand into your left tricep. And try to get a little more stretch. And make sure your feet are planted and breathe. All right, now we're going to do a little arm stretching. So we're going to just grab our left hand with our right hand, our left fingers. We're going to pull them and stretch out the inside of our arm. Forearm. There we go. And, all right, make sure you breathe. You're gonna feel it all the way in here. And then now, just flip the arm and do it the other way. Breathe. Breathe. Now take your fingers, flip the other way here. All right, other side. Rotate your hand. Drop it to your leg. Take your left hand, right hand, stretch. Breathe. This is the one that's you need if you write or you type a lot. Specifically, those two things causes a lot of carpal tunnel issues, a lot of issues in your hand and your forearm, and you have to make sure you're stretching. Breathe. In and out. Flip your hand. Do it the other side. 3 breaths. And then one more time, right here. 3 breaths. All right, now we're gonna do a couple down dogs and a couple other things like that. Let's make sure we're really focusing on the technique, focusing on the posture, but also you're pushing yourself to that limit because that's the reason why we do this. All right, let's rock. So we're gonna do our hands in the air, and we're going to touch our toes, and then walk our hands out into a down dog. We're gonna hold it here for 3 breaths. Right now, you don't have to push yourself. Just find the position, make sure you focus on your technique, make sure you do everything correctly, or not everything. I take that back. Try to just do it as close to it as you can. And now we're going to focus, and we're going to hold the position for 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to push it a little farther now. Same position. Just try to engage the butt into the air, the right and the left heel. Try to engage it closer to the mat. Push the hands into the front of the mat to create space in the shoulders. And make sure you pull your head through your legs. And hold it here for 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. Last time, we're going to push it a little farther. Focus on the technique. Don't go too far, but push it. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, from here, we're going to pull into a plank and hold this plank for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, good job. Now lower all the way to the ground. And what we're going to do here is we're going to flip onto our backs. And we're going to take our left foot and put it on our right leg, and we're going to stretch our left hip. So remember here, what you're focusing on is you're focusing on your butt being on the ground. This leg is pushing, this left leg is pushing out while the right leg is pushing in towards your body. Take your hands, grab your right leg right around that hamstring, and just try to engage it and pull it into your body as you're pushing your left knee out away from your body. Breathe, focus. If you want to straighten your right leg, you can. If you want to bend it, it's up to you. Try to find some space, try to create some stillness, but push yourself for 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Now lower the right foot down and take the left leg and lift it into the air. Push your right foot into the mat and your left heel into the top of the ceiling. Try to engage the leg, both legs. Have the left leg as straight as it can be, but you don't have to keep it straight. Take your hands, put them on the mat, and push them into the mat. And breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Now take your hands, grab somewhere on the back of your leg, and try to engage the core and bring your forehead close to the knee and try to engage that left hamstring and push that left heel into the ceiling. Make sure your right foot has a good base and your right hip is driving through the mat. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Lower that down. Now we're going to go here. Same thing. Lift it all the way in the air. Lower it down. All the way in the air. Lower it down. All the way in the air. Lower it down. Continue doing this for 10 more times. That's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. So we're going to start with the right hip stretch. So bend the left leg, plant the left foot on the ground, bend the right leg, fold the right foot onto the left, pick up that left foot, take your hands, grab the back of your hamstrings, try to drive your shoulders onto the ground, and engage. Pushing that right knee away from you, but pulling the left knee into you. Breathe. If you want to straighten that leg, you can. If you want to just hold it here, you can. But try to create space and then push it a little bit farther. All right, now plant that left foot on the ground. Take that right leg, lift it right into the air. Drive that right heel into the ceiling. Plant your hands on the ground. Breathe. Engage that hamstring. Make sure your butt is on the ground, not off the ground, like I was just now. Now take your hands, grab the back of your leg, engage the core, pull your right leg into your forehead, and hold it. Breathe. All right, now we're going to do the same thing as on the other side. We're just going to lift that right leg into the air 15 times. 3, I'll do it with you every single one here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg. Now we're going to just put our hands above our head and give a good full body stretch. Point your toes at the away from you. Try to push your shoulders. Push your hands out, but pull your shoulders into you. Engage your core. Breathe. Breathe. It should feel good.